After our first video, several folks asked us to share our thoughts on the new 2025R. First, if you've got some history with John Deere, forget everything you've ever known about the previous 2025R. This is a totally different tractor.
I see what you want now. We're going to trade in Johnny, aren't we?
I don't know. We can trade in Johnny. We need a second tractor.
Okay, we'll just buy one of these two.
The simplest way to describe this tractor is it's a 1025R with bigger tires. Some of the things in common with the 1025R are the engine. It's identical. The drivetrain is identical. The front end loader, the backhoe, the mid-mount mower deck choices, the mid-mount mower deck height control, the seat, the hood, the quick attach mechanism, the tilt wheel, the differential lock, still needs Ken's differential lock pedal. So based on all those similarities, you would think that the tractor feels almost exactly like a 1025R. Well, when I hopped up in the seat, that really wasn't the case. Sure, there was a lot of familiarity with the controls and things like that, and sure, it felt similar in some ways, but you sit dramatically higher. And that really does change your perspective. We haven't got to drive the tractor yet, so it'll be interesting to see how much that changes how it feels. I'm convinced the larger tires will make the tractor ride easier over yards and rough terrain. When we start to examine some of the differences of the 1025R to the 2025R, I think the main point of the larger tires will drive a lot of these differences, and we can see that here. One thing is that the ROPS hinges differently. It's more tilted towards the front, and we believe that is to keep it under the 8-foot max height. Secondly, there's a tiny toolbox that's just right in front there. You saw Christy working with it there. And so it's been moved from the side. The side fender lights are now an option instead of being standard on the 1025R. The mid-mount mower, it lifts higher. There's no question about that. The one weakness of the 1025R is it just doesn't get the mower off the ground very far. We see several changes in the operating station. Those larger, wider tires have kind of squeezed the fenders together somewhat. So this has required moving the hydrostatic range lever and the PTO selection for mid and rear slightly upward, and actually it makes them a lot easier to access. Overall, there just isn't as much space between the left and right fenders, but I didn't really notice that as being a negative because it did feel like you sit higher. Now the hydraulic pump flow is slightly higher, 7 gallons per minute versus 6.3 gallons per minute on the 1025R. However, most of this, if not all of it, is dedicated to the steering. Perhaps this again is because of the larger front steering tires. We didn't get to see the 3-point hitch, but after speaking with a couple of product managers, there was some geometry changes in the way the 3-point hitch works, and it should have higher lift capacity than the 1025R. Additionally, you see a slightly higher hydraulic pressure as the spec on the 2025R, so that should increase the lift marginally as well. Now the wheelbase is over 6 inches longer than the 1025R. This had to be done because of the larger tires again to allow room for the mid-mount mower to fit. On the positive side, this will improve the ride. On the negative side, it decreases the turning radius to 8.7 feet versus 7.4 feet for the 1025R. When we get to drive it, we'll kind of see how much that feels like. I don't know how much that will change the handling. Now overall, the tractor is at least 350 pounds heavier than the 1025R. I think this will really be a nice improvement. At first you might think this might have more tendency to cause ruts in your yard or cause other damage to your yard, but I don't think that'll be the case because the larger tires will distribute that weight over a bigger space. We looked under the tractor and we saw no sign of the inline fuel filter under the left fender. If this is truly the case, that'll make it a little easier to maintain. Now let's quickly cover some differences between the 2025R and the 2032R, 2038R, what we refer to as the large frame 2 series. The first thing I noticed was that it does not have the command cut mower height control. Rather, it has the knob down at the lower left, just like the 1025R has. For snow duty, this tractor uses the front quick hitch assembly that's common on the larger garden tractors and on the 1025R, rather than the front 3-point hitch, which is used on the 3 Series and now on the large frame 2s. The 3-point hitch approach is much stronger, but it has a big downside. It's a lot more expensive than the front quick hitch approach. Okay, with all of those facts sort of out on the table, I guess it's time to ask myself again, what do I really think about this tractor? First, I'm really excited to say that there is a step up now from the 1025R that is just a minor step up in functionality. Until 1 year ago, if you wanted to maintain all the niceties that you had in your 1 Series yet go larger, you had to go all the way to the 3 Series. Now, with the addition of the large frame 2 Series and now the 2025R small frame 2 Series, there's a lot of choices for you to be able to find exactly the right upgrade from your 1 Series tractor. If you're needing to upgrade your 1 Series and in every way it just isn't large enough for you, it doesn't have enough horsepower, it doesn't have enough lift capacity, it doesn't have enough backhoe capacity, etc., then I think going to at least the large frame 2 Series might be the right choice for you. Having said that, I think this tractor will really improve the ground clearance. I think it'll improve the ride. I think it'll improve the visibility of the front loader because you're setting up higher. And so it might be a good upgrade for you for those reasons alone. I would love to be able to use one in a real-world situation to see if the tractor is powerful enough to handle the larger tires. If we get the chance to do so, you'll be the first to see the results right here on Tractor Time with Tim. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. If you have a 1 Series or a Kubota BX or other subcompact tractor, is this tractor interesting to you? Go ahead and put the comments down in the comments section. I'd love to hear the discussion. The list price for the tractor and loader together is $20,930 with no additional options. And they expect to get their first shipment near the end of October.
Oh my goodness, it is a lot higher, isn't it? Can I adjust the seat?
Yeah, the seat adjuster is easier.
Wow. It is easier. I do like that. Okay, we can take it home.
I'm not hearing any tractor noise.
Well, no, wait. How do you make a tractor noise?
Well, the diesel tractor noise is different. See,
Yeah.
for gas tractors, it's can't spit. You can't do that without spitting. You can't help it. But for diesel tractors, it's there you go.
I don't have a deep enough voice. This is a little different. It's just a toggle switch instead of a push and pull for the mower or the PTO engage.
Yeah. LED lights here. They've got the same accessory lighting kit.
They've got. Do we have 2 lights? They have lights on both sides.
Yeah, we have those.
It looks like most of this, like the raise and lower, the back's in the same spot, and anyway, raise and lower is in the same area.
Yeah. It's really configured much like the 1025R.
Yeah.
It's just much taller.
And the foot pedals are still, I mean, that's good. So if you have a 1025R, switching to one of these would be very easy.
Yeah.
Very easy.
What I've noticed in the past, that there wasn't an easy step up from the 1025R. What we found in the past, that from the 1025R to the older 2025R was totally different. You lost the auto connect, you lost just a bunch of the ease functions, you lost the nicer seat, you lost the tilt wheel, you lost a bunch of features like that. Now they have all of those features such that this 2025R is just the right step up.
You want one, don't you?
I'd love to have one of these. I think it would be a nice step up for us because it's just a little bit taller and would help us with some ground clearance. I actually think it would ride easier, I think, because of the larger tires. I think you might like it. But yet it maintains that maneuverability that you got with the 1025R.
That's true.
Can I have one?
I'll think about it.
Please.
Keep begging.
I need
How about that cruise I've been wanting to go on?
You think we can take him on a cruise?
No.
Okay,
No,
well,
no.
I'm going to need some help from all you subscribers. I can tell on this.
Yeah. If you want him to get one, send me a message.
Oh, okay.
Or send $3 a piece. I don't know.
We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.